What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's another episode of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. 2 for 2, baby. Let's go.
Wait, no, you stuttered last time.
No, I did. I think I got it. I had a pretty clean intro last time. But it's Kyle and Ben, and we are here at Bunkers. A little bit of a different angle. Got my son playing games on the other side of the screen. Bub's killing zombies right now with dodgeball.
It's hard for me not to focus on that.
I know.
We
may just be color commentary of him playing dodgeball. He just missed wide left there. But anyway, you guys got to come here and check this place out. It's awesome, and we love hanging out here. Before we get started, tonight's episode is brought to you by Bet Online, the number one sports betting website in the country. Sign up today, get a 50% free bet bonus.
Oh,
you can explain that, Ben? Give them $100. You give them $100.
Have you tried this?
Yeah, I sampled that. It's pretty good.
There's a reason that it's made on Tequila Day, if you aren't sure.
Yeah, so you give them $100. They're going to give you $50 back on top of it as a free bet. So it's a risk-free bet that you can place on any line that they have. They have the sports book that has basically anything you can bet on, and I don't think you can use it in the casino. But regardless, if you use coupon code BLEAV, BLEAV, you can take advantage of that welcome bonus.
That's where I need the most help.
Check them out. All the different sports you can bet on. It's where the game starts. I think that's what they say. Speaking of,
I don't think they do. I think we made that up.
No, it's where the game starts.
Okay,
that's their.
You say so.
That's their catchphrase. All right, so this weekend.
Just glad you're on the right pod.
Yeah, this weekend you had the Open, the last major of the year, and Xander Shauffele kind of comes from behind and takes over the last day and wins his second major of the year. It was a really good leaderboard.
No, it was great.
There were some guys in the mix. It kind of gave you everything that you kind of dream of when you talk about the Open. You had the weather, you had the dudes not being able to get out of bunkers. You had it was a good one.
Saturday was the chaos day because Lowry was so far in the lead and just pooped the bed. I got to be nice because your
kid's present,
son and daughter here, so I got to behave myself. But you thought he was in full control, and he made the turn on Saturday. And Kyle didn't get to see as much because he had his own issues over the weekend. And so, which we'll talk about as well. However, I did get to watch all of it. I mean, I literally, even on Saturday,
Saturday was rough.
My wife thought I was just absolutely stupid because I went ahead and got up at 5 o'clock Saturday and started watching. And I told her, I said, I could have got up at 3. I just decided to wait till 5 to get up.
I think it's on Saturday. I listened to Justin Rose, his post-round conference, and he said, I don't think he ever had less than like a 5-iron into a par 4.
Oh, it was ridiculous. He was
in 3 woods.
The best part about
irons.
Saturday was 17. 17, the leaders at the time were hitting driver into a par 3 and came up short.
Wow.
And Scheffler,
you do that in general.
Well,
but,
imagine doing
it in a major.
Yeah, imagine having to do it like with wind in your face. And it was only playing 260, but I mean these guys averaging 300 off the tee. That's what it was taking off.
That's crazy.
And so Siwoo had a hole-in-one on Saturday. Now, those of you going, well, he had a hole-in-one. I mean, why do you keep asking if Scottie Scheffler had the best shot on that hole? Well, when Siwoo played it, there was no wind, no rain, and he hit an iron into the green.
Yep.
Not to diminish his hole-in-one.
I think it was playing like 240 at that point in time. So if they were hitting drivers later in the day,
it was playing over 300 later in the day because they were coming up short with driver.
That's incredible.
And so now Scottie did hit a 3-wood, and
it goes to show you it's easy when there's no wind. You can hit hole-in-ones, and then when there is wind, you have to hit
Listen,
drivers.
I've seen you hit a hole-in-one. There was no wind that day.
That's true.
That's how easy it is.
So easy.
And then apparently he's had another hole-in-one that none of us know about, but
you can get sidetracked so easily.
And so I will say this though. I mean, Scottie people were giving Tarico, basically giving him hell about it because he said that's the best shot of the day, and everybody's like, well, Siwoo had a hole-in-one. I'm like, yeah, Siwoo also hit a 5-iron into there, and Scottie Scheffler hit a 3-wood into there.
Yeah.
So nothing against Siwoo. I'm just saying Scottie hit a pretty good shot, and so he's one of the. I think there were 2 birdies on that hole and a hole-in-one. Everybody else was par or worse, and so that was the fun day to me. That's the Open weather that I like to see, where they're in sweaters and rain and.
It's miserable. It looks awful.
They even talked about this is the hardest working day for a caddy and a player because they're constantly having to put.
It is hard to be a caddy in the rain. I've done that. I'm a tour caddy.
Did it rain when they were here?
He told me, it rained, and working the towels, the umbrella, and keeping up with the head covers is tough. So I can imagine what they were going through, and it being cold.
Or even keeping up with the putter head covers.
Yes, what's it? Head covers. Yeah, I mean, and it's not even.
But that day that you left that behind, it was sunny and blue skies. I was there that day.
That's true. That is a good point.
That had nothing to do with the rain.
I didn't lose anything on the rain day, believe it or not. It's kind of crazy.
No, because it was all right, and they were working hard. So it was fun. It still was a little cooler on Sunday, but the rain stayed away. So scores were a little bit better, especially when you talk about Shauffele and what he did. So I thought it was cool because his dad was there this time. His dad was not there for the first major, and was in Hawaii because that's where he's from.
Yep.
And so could not get over, did not know he was going to be in contention. All of a sudden he was in contention and he won last time. Or this time went ahead and made the trip, from start to finish. So I think it was great. Everybody else in the field averaged 2 over on Sunday, and Shauffele was 6 under.
That's incredible.
On the back. So
incredible.
That just lets you know.
So Shauffele now,
phenomenal.
he's got 2 major wins, the PGA Championship and the Open, a top 10 at the Masters. I don't know what he finished at the U.S. Open. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. I don't even know if he made the cut.
Is there an argument for Shauffele as golfer of the year over Scottie Scheffler?
I would not vote in the Twitter poll that was going around from about 15 different sites saying who would you give it to right now, because you can make an argument for both. No, you said it. You and I were talking about it. Schauffele's got the 2 majors and then a top 10 in another major. Then you got Scheffler, who's got the major, also has a top 10. Actually, a couple of top 10s, I think.
He finished pretty high.
Yeah,
I
think he's got a couple of top 10s. And so in the other majors. However, if you look at the FedEx points, it's Scheffler.
That's true.
Still by a long shot, but it's because he won all those daggum elevated events at the first of the year.
Yeah.
And so that put him up. If you look at money, it's Scheffler.
It's true.
So, what's more important to you? Is it more important to win more tournaments throughout the year, or is it more important to win majors throughout the year?
Is it more important to play good over the whole year, or is it a couple of weekends out of the year you get hot and you win the majors? I think
he missed 3 putts inside of 3 feet on Sunday. Scheffler did. Otherwise, he's probably right there with Shauffele at the end.
Oh yeah,
and
it was close.
Possible playoff.
Yeah,
and so everybody that acts like he's just gone away, I'm like, you do realize he still finished in the top 10 this tournament.
Right, he's still almost winning all these tournaments.
And this is after getting arrested.
Yeah,
having a baby that was due every week for 6 straight weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
He had that pressure on him.
Yeah.
Stopping at a bar with a pregnant wife. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on in his life.
He's had a whirlwind.
So if you count the off the course stuff, I give the nod to Scheffler.
I think
Xander hadn't been arrested.
I think majors matter. Obviously, there should be more weight on the majors, but now it's not like Scheffler's winning the John Deere Classic. You know what I mean? Or the Butterfield Bermuda Open, or those tournaments.
Whatever that was this weekend.
He's winning elevated events. They're essentially major fields, and some could argue maybe even better than major fields, because some of the majors have people that qualify to get in, whereas the elevated
auto qualifiers.
The elevated events are literally like who's playing the best golf right now. So I think I still give the nod to Scheffler. So my question to you is, if Scheffler had his resume, if Scheffler if anybody won all the elevated events, and another guy wins maybe just, let's say, 3 majors, who's I guess at what point what does Schauffele have to do to be considered golfer of the year, or have a better year than Scottie Scheffler?
See, this is where I side with Schauffele, because I'm with you. I put more weight in the majors, and I understand that we have elevated events and majors have auto qualifiers. You and I have talked about it. One of the worst fields in golf's the Masters, because if you've ever done well, you get invited back.
Tiger's exempt till he's 60.
I know. To the Open, yeah.
Yeah, to the Open.
How about Colin Montgomery getting owned by that? That was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I put more weight in the majors because there are guys like Luke Donald's in the booth. The highest he said he'd ever finished was 5th in the British Open, which is like their dream.
Yeah.
Well, when he was playing, it was the British.
Okay. Maybe so. Maybe at that point in time. I'm not going to check that.
But so he made a good point. Like, he puts more weight in the majors just because he said, if you could ask me if I could win 10 tournaments or one major, I'm taking the major.
Yeah.
And so
we've done those scenarios often.
Exactly. So, and I think a lot of players would say, because you got guys that go their entire career and never win a major.
Yeah.
And then you got people like Shauffele that win 2 majors in 1 year.
1 year. Yeah.
So
you go from you go from being in the conversation of the best player to not have a major to winning 2 majors in 1 year.
Exactly.
It's pretty
and that was
crazy.
him. I mean, he was the advanced version of Phil when Phil couldn't get his major.
Yeah.
But Phil went a longer time without a major than Shauffele did. Because Shauffele, people forget, Schauffele's only 29 years old. There's a lot of golf left in him.
Oh, he's still got his whole 30s. I mean, he's kind of right in his prime.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he could be a guy. I mean, he's long enough. He's got all the game to kind of go on a run.
Yeah. And I tell you the thing I was most proud of, and I'm going to really upset some of the people overseas that do download this and listen to it, because they have chirped at us from time to time.
All American
major winners. And
that's why we're the oldest and greatest country in the world.
Take that, L, 1776. How about that?
There you go. There you go. No. No, it was all American majors, which I don't get too much into. I don't know. I don't have just so much national pride as far as when it comes to golf, but it is kind of fun.
No, the only one that I have the national pride in is I'd like to see Americans win the U.S. Open. Just like probably a lot of Europeans like to see somebody from that side win the Open Championship.
Yeah.
Which I will say, I found myself, the qualifier and the old guy, Justin Rose, kind of was pulling for him a little bit.
Yeah.
Be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, seems like a nice dude. Always is just kind of self-deprecating, where he's just the all shucks attitude. I was kind of pulling for him, and then he looked to have had a pretty good time with Xander playing in that group.
Right.
They were not the final group, but played in that group. So gave Xander a big hug afterwards too. It was the sportsmanship that was involved in that. So yeah, if there was somebody that I could have picked, it would have been Rose.
Sure.
Besides Scheffler and Shauffele, that's who I was really pulling for, the two of them.
So sidebar conversation. So it's so apparently easy to get tickets to the Open and make it all work. So my uncle won a trip over there. Okay,
I saw him. I saw his social media.
Did you see his social media?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
I didn't
pictures.
know if it was this year or he's looked the same for the last 10 years in his pictures. So I wasn't sure if that was this year or if he was just posting 2016 pictures from when Winston
So
played.
he wins a work trip over there, and he's like, wait, we're going to be over there the same weekend as the Open. I'm going to see if I can, it's probably way too late. I mean, this was in he called me, and we were talking through the details of how to make this work. And he called it was less than a month ago. He got 4 Sunday round tickets. And he's like, they were nothing.
I think you could just walk up to the gate and get them.
And then the crowds, there's nobody there.
No.
He was on the tee box. Typically in America, you can't get 5 deep. You may get lucky to get on 1 tee box close.
Forget 5 deep, getting the tickets. We've talked about, the
Masters, forget it.
Yeah, that's a
not
no.
happening. And then depending on the venue, the U.S. Open can be tough. The PGA Championship can be tough. The Open, he got tickets right away. He had unbelievable. He got there also at 2 or 3 o'clock. So he's like, I'm just going to time it to whenever the leaders go off.
Oh.
So he got there then. He followed the leaders, and he was. You saw all the pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he got lucky on 1 tee box and then he had to run 10 holes away.
Yeah.
He was following them the whole way. It was unbelievable.
I was sitting there. They did a story about the quote-unquote smoke room off of 18.
Yeah.
There's a door to that smoke room. I'm sitting there thinking, hello, put your drink down, and when a leader or when somebody comes up hitting an 18, it is literally 4 paces from that door to the green, and they let you walk out. Nobody did. They just sat there and watched. I'm like, these people would hate you and I. We would be back there drinking and eating what is it? The beans and bread and all that.
I don't know about that, dude.
and drinking beer. And then every time somebody came up and hit into 18, you and I would step outside and be like, all right, this is the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
And they just all sat there and
give me a vape
with like their legs crossed. And and see, that's the thing, is they just call it the smoke room. You ain't even smoke in there anymore. Like, they got to go outside to smoke.
Okay. Well,
isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
And they wouldn't go outside and watch the leaders. So,
oh yeah,
that's what he should have done. He should have tried to get in
there. If you
had
to go outside, if you had to smoke outside, and that's the best seat, there's no telling what I would smoke. Just whatever I had to do to get out there. I had the best seat in the house. No, it was great. It was a fun. It was a fun tournament. What little I get to see, I've played in a tournament, so a lot of times I'm watching the replay.
Oh yeah.
But we finish on Sunday right around the time that the winners finish, so you get to see.
Oh,
you get to see the ending, so that's kind of cool. But we're going to talk about some. I'm going to kick it to myself and Mo. We're going to talk about some of the specials coming up at Bunkers, and then we're going to wrap it up. Talk about
it's tequila night or something coming up.
Tequila night is actually today.
It's tequila time.
Tequila time today. It's National Tequila Day, so we got some tequila specials that myself and Mo are going to talk about, and then we're going to wrap it up. Talk about my tournament. I won another cow cooter. Ben picked me up. I was down. Ben picked me up, and then we made it happen. So we'll be back right after this. All right, we're back, and it's Kyle and Mo again, and we have some specials to talk about that are going on right now, and then some additional specials that are going on later this evening. I guess it depends on when you're listening to this for that to make sense, but specials during the day, specials this evening. She's going to tell us about it. Tell us about what we got going on today.
Yeah, so it's National Tequila Day today.
Oh.
So we wanted to celebrate, as one should, with a bunch of tequila and some great food. And so tonight we're doing a trivia night, a tequila trivia night, and there will be winners and prizes for the winners.
Oh.
And then that's from 6 to 8. And also from 6 to 8, we're also doing a tequila tasting. And so we have professionals coming in to explain and to kind of take you through high-end tequilas that you can drink on the rocks.
How do you become a tequila professional?
I don't know. I mean,
need to look at that on LinkedIn.
Right. I mean, maybe you just drink a lot of it. That y'all might become professionals by tonight. So, yeah, but it's going to be really fun. The trivia is very interesting. We've made a lot of cool cocktails, and then you can also take the high-end tequila that you're tasting and put it in a cocktail. That'll be really fun. So we're doing $7 signature margaritas all day. That's the all day special. Then we're also doing $7 steak nachos.
And they're fantastic.
Day. So that's going to be really exciting. Y'all bring your family, come on in, have some tequila throughout the day. You know, just do what you do on Wednesdays.
11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever. Just
6 o'clock.
6
o'clock.
Matter. Yeah, all day long.
And then this weekend,
this is the fun stuff.
On Friday, we're doing Cheers on the Corner, which is hosted by Downtown Auburn. We're really excited to be there. We're going to be in Charming Oaks, and we're going to have putt-putt. We're going to have drinks. One that you tasted.
Yeah.
What do we think about it?
It's very intriguing. It's kind of like a smoothie. It's like a really not tasty smoothie.
And so the fun part about us is we're actually going to do 2 signature cocktails at this thing. Typically on Cheers on the Corner, you only have one, I think, but we're actually going to do 2 because double the trouble. You know
it's going to be in Charming Oaks, which is right by Five Guys.
Right by Target, actually.
Oh, okay,
across
right by the
street
Target
from Five Guys, I believe. No, it is
it's
down the street from it. But yeah, so we're going to be in Charming Oaks, and that's going to go on, I believe, at 6. And so bring your family. We're going to do putt-putt, and it'll be a lot of fun. You can go shopping, you can drink, eat, do the whole thing.
And you can do that all downtown.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Everything's going to be shut down.
Yeah.
The whole street.
Walk up and down the street, go see all the different stuff, and then you can come into Charming Oaks and get a sample of Bunkers, and then actually maybe go to Bunkers afterwards.
Yeah, we actually have a breakfast bite that we're doing, and they told me today it's going to be unbelievable. It's like a waffle and like bite size. Oh, it has the whole thing. I'm really excited though. I'm thankful that they let us be a part of this because it's such a fun event for the community. And
Cheers,
so
exactly. Cheers on the Corner. It's a blast. It's a great family event, and there's adult stuff, there's kid stuff. It's a lot of fun, and our Bunkers is going to be right in the mix. Just check them out at Charming Oaks. Yeah, and you can play putt-putt, try some of the drink specials, try some of the different craft drinks they do, and just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, have a lot of fun. Yep. Great way to spend a Friday night. So that's kind of what we got going on at the end of this week and today. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Y'all come by.
Don't forget Member Mondays. Is that
Member
right?
Mondays.
Member
exactly.
Mondays. If your golf course is closed down on Mondays, they got you the hookup.
Yeah.
You can come here. There's specials all day long, and you can play sims and all kind of stuff as well. So
and we have a full buffet for members.
Ooh.
And $3 draft beers.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
can't beat it.
It doesn't get better than this.
Can't beat it. So check them out. Bunkers. Thanks again, Mo. I'm going to kick it back to myself and Ben.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we're back to wrap things up. Put a little bow on to this week's episode. And Ben, I got to give Ben some credit here. I played in a golf tournament this weekend, and it's a 2-round, 2-man best ball, not a scramble.
Yeah.
You both play the hole out. You take the lowest score. Some people call it a 4-ball. Some people call it best ball, whatever you want to call it. My dad and I was pumped for the event. I'm playing really good golf right now. I've had like 3 or 4 rounds leading up to it in the 70s, ready to go.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm about to go light this place up.
Yeah.
I mean, hitting it good, hitting it long off the tee box.
Shorter course.
We had won a tournament in June, my dad and I.
Yes.
It was actually a 2-man scramble. We talked about it on the show. So we're going.
That was a 9-hole course, though, right?
Yeah, but you play at 2 different tee boxes. But this was a 18-hole course, Andalusia, Alabama. We go in there and we are. I mean, I'm thinking I'm in peak. We're about to go. We're about to go dominate. Well, as good as I told Ben this, as good as we played a month ago. The first round we played the opposite bad. So if it's like a line graph, okay, and this is good, and then this is like just average. We were on the other side of average bad. It was the worst round we've ever played together. Best ball combined, we shot 84.
I know. And
that's tough to do.
It is tough. The reason it's tough to do is because I played Friday and I shot an 83.
Exactly. You could have paid me. I would have taken a $100 bet that I would have shot better than 84 on my own ball.
On your own, yes. I would take. Yes. I haven't played that course in 20 years, and I think I would shoot better than. Now 84.
I will say this: it was probably the toughest the greens we've ever played, as far as like pin placements and whatnot go.
Okay.
It was really tough. Everybody said so. It was really they made it really hard.
84 doesn't sound like you hit a lot of greens.
We didn't. Oh. And then if you don't hit greens, it's really hard to get up and down out there. So I hit probably, what's crazy, and I think I told you this, I probably hit out of 14 fairways, I probably hit 10 fairways.
No, you said 12.
10 or 12 fairways, and I hit maybe 3 greens. It was that bad. Like I couldn't. They're smaller greens, but I wasn't really that close. Like I was hitting it fat.
Did you even birdie any par 5s?
I didn't birdie a par 5 all weekend.
Oh,
I had
all
3
weekend.
I did have 3 birdies. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
On Sunday, but none of them were par 5s.
Wow.
And
with his length, all of those are reachable.
So I'm depressed. Like I was down. Like I was like, I don't even know if I want to come back to this tournament anymore.
Okay. First and foremost, number one, I didn't know they were in a rain delay. And so Kyle texts me. And when he texts me, he's kind of talking about how bad it is. And then I said, are you done? Because it was like middle of the day. So I'm like, what'd they do? Tee off at 7 a.m.? I said, are you done? And he texts me back. He goes, no, we got, 3 or 4 left. That was the text back. I said, he had not told me the score yet.
Yeah.
And I literally texted him. I said, it must be bad. You're literally texting me during the round. Now, they were in a rain delay, but still, that's kind of not like him to be sending me texts like while the round's going.
I was completely. I was almost ready to withdraw.
There were 3 holes left, and he was done.
I was contemplating, do we withdraw?
Wow.
Not really, but we would have finished regardless. But no, but this is what Ben does. This is what Ben said, and it ended up like he could see the future. Ben said, finish it out. You're going to go cheap in the Calcutta and then go win the money on Sunday. And by God, that's what we did. So we go out Sunday, and so we go 84. We flip it around and shoot 74. Mm-hmm. And place, I think, 3rd in the Calcutta. Win big money that was a big money Calcutta. I mean, there was.
How much did you go for?
Oh, we got it super cheap. I think it was $400.
Wow.
And we got half of it. So you got $200 to win, a pile of money.
Yeah.
So we came in 3rd. We played really good. I had 3 birdies. Dad had a birdie. we played like the opposite. We did kind of wilt a little bit towards the end. We got a little bit.
Oh, you could have got better.
Could have got better. We had 2 bogeys down the stretch, but we walk in and the guy that's there. So it's rush. It's always rush and rush. You know.
Yeah.
That's the team. So there's one guy's like, we buy every time I see a rush and rush, I buy him in the Calcutta. And so like we go turn the scorer card in, and so it's 84-74. So he goes, rush and rush 74. He said, knew that was coming. We were so dialed. It was fun. I know some people are like, oh, 74 and a 4-ball. Well, we're not great golfers.
Listen, I've been there and done it. We didn't do 4-ball. It was a scramble.
Yeah.
And we literally, a guy that legit played junior college golf. Like, he was better. And this was back when I was playing probably less than a 5 handicap. Easy less than a 5. And same type deal where I was ready to quit golf because we went out there, and between the two of us, he literally had just got done playing junior college golf too. I mean, he's 22 years old and just can stripe it. And we go out there and we shoot probably around 84, 85. Yeah. Same deal though. We went cheap in the that's how I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We went cheap in the Calcutta. Due to inflation, Kyle went for more. I think we went for like 150. But 20 years later, Kyle goes for $400 instead. But
it was charity.
Kind of the same.
It was charity.
Kind of the same scenario too, is when we came walking in. Same type deal. The responses we were getting, we were like, we knew. What'd y'all do? Y'all sandbag yesterday? And I was like, no, we really, we lost.
Oh, we tried
we lost hard. 6 balls easy.
We tried so hard. Like, the people that are playing with us are like, I'm sorry, guy. Like, it was we were trying so hard. Yeah. I said, and my dad, he's like trying to figure out what's going on he's like, I think you're just getting down on yourself. I said, Dad, I'm literally, like, every shot, I'm literally trying so it has nothing to do.
Like, you're concentrating now.
I'm concentrating.
This is a 4-ball that you're supposed to be having fun at, and you're actually treating it like you're going down the stretch on Sunday.
Every shot, I'm trying my absolute best, and we just could not do it. It was awful. Another sidebar funny story. So it's broken up. There's 8 total flights. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a championship flight, 1st through 3rd, and then there's a 4 through 7. Mm-hmm. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 5. I mean, that's 4. So on Sunday, you typically split it up, and half of the flights play in the morning.
Okay.
And then the higher flights, like the championship 1 through 3, they're typically your better golfers. They play in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So usually there's 9 teams.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. Usually there's 10 teams. So the 5th flight through the 9th flight is in the afternoon. Well, we were in the 4th flight. So we're already mad, thinking we got to play in the afternoon flight on Sunday. Well, they had reduced the field a little bit to try to make things go a little bit faster. So we find out we are the very first flight of the morning. So so it was championship through 3rd and 4th through 7th. We were in the 4th flight. Okay. So this is what's funny. Okay. So if you play in the 3rd flight on Sunday, you tee off at like 2 o'clock.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the team that won our flight, the scores were 73, 74, 75, those type scores. Then there was a bunch in the 80s. Like, there was actually way more in the 80s than just me. There was 15 teams on our flight. The team that led the flight shot 67. Okay. Then they come in the next day and shoot 68.
Wow.
And so they go to turn their card in on Sunday, and the guy running the tournament says, "Congratulations, you can sleep in next year." In other words, you're going up. This is your last year in the 4th flight.
Yes.
And they all laugh. They're like, it just is what it is. We played really good. So,
wow.
So, other than that, there was another team that was pretty steady. They shot 74, 73, and then we shot 84, 74, backdoored into the Calcutta and paid for the whole trip.
I think one of the best texts that I sent you was not you liked the one that I sent that was motivating you for the next day. The one that I liked was when y'all were at your rest area. I said, now's a good time to tell your dad that you just bought a new driver. Even though he did not buy a new driver.
The funny thing, because I had new clubs, new irons the last time we played.
Because I knew both of them were probably going to be sitting there in the rain today, steaming.
Is this a bad time?
And you should have just leaned over to him and said, I don't know if it's a good time or not to tell you, but I did get a new driver.
I told him about possibly bringing the backup putter. And he said, hell, that might help you. You know, just joking around. I putted so poorly the first round, and then I kind of turned it on. I did something I got fired up one time, made a putt, I walked it in. It was probably 20 feet.
Did he want to fight you?
No, but
it's happened before.
I walked it in, got it out of the hole, and walked to the cart. I was so fired up because we were playing so good. We were 1 under through maybe 10 or 11 holes.
Oh, wow.
And then we just had a little stretch.
And the wheels came off.
They didn't really come off, but we were hanging on. We got her into the clubhouse and won some money. And I joked with Ben before we started. I said, at what point do you like winnings? Do you have to start filing tax returns?
I know.
I mean, we're right there on the line. We're right there on the line.
You don't. It's cash. Nobody knows.
Good point. It was all cash.
Nobody knows. Also, you don't do this once a year. You can just claim the IRS this was a gift.
It's true. Good point. Even better. Even better.
Not that I'm endorsing tax evasion or.
Ben's a big tax fraud guy. He loves fraud of taxes.
What was that Trump said? I know the rules because you break them just like I do.
I know the rules because I have used the rules to my benefit.
You wrote the tax law. I'm just following what you wrote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm smart.
Yeah, exactly.
You think he said that?
Yeah.
But no, it was a lot of fun. That's my Masters every year.
It's fantastic.
And Ben, I had some dudes, they listened to the podcast, and they were like, Ben has to be in this tournament next year. So
all I need is an invite from somebody.
You don't even need an invite. You just need to get a partner. It's not. We're both not members. You don't have to be a member. You just go. You just sign up. I'll give you the sign up guy's name. You set your alarm. You get your partner. And
it's first come, first serve.
First come, first serve. I'll give you the number to text. You text it in. You Venmo them the entry fee, and you're in. So you got people there calling for Ben. They're like, Ben, this is your hometown. You need to be in this tournament.
It was my club growing up.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm not joking. I was the only one that played golf. I mean, as soon as I left, that's when Dad got out. Dad was joking. I'm not playing anymore because you're not there. So
I'm not. That's a true story. Not making up. When you gonna get Ben in this thing?
You don't remember their names? I wonder if I know them. Are they from Andalusia?
I think they're from Andalusia. Yeah, but no, they listen to the show. They every year we talk about it. So got to get Ben in it next year.
You better be careful then.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you're invited back, you keep throwing up these low numbers on Sunday.
There's no invitations. You just it's first come first serve.
Yeah.
But we spend a lot of money there too, so they're happy to see us.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Oh, and we had the best. We did something different this year. We got an Airbnb, which, believe it or not, that may sound sketchy in Andalusia. There's some really good Airbnbs.
No, there's some really nice houses.
And we had an awesome.
Were you close to the club on the Airbnb?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
3-4 minutes. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It was fantastic.
Probably somebody I grew up with.
It was absolutely fantastic. But guys, we really appreciate it. You got to come check out Bunkers. There's tequila specials going on all day today. You got Member Mondays on Monday. Cheers on the Corner on Friday.
Yeah, be sure to come down here for that because the streets get blocked off. If you're in the Auburn local or if you're coming to Auburn for the weekend, this is a great event. You do not have to have a ticket to go to Cheers on the Corner. As a matter of fact, somebody like Bunkers would probably prefer that you don't have a ticket because then you can come in and you can just patronize their business.
Yeah.
The streets are blocked off. It is
it's a lot of fun.
As my wife
it's an entertainment district. That's all you got to say.
As my wife likes to call it. Yeah, she didn't call it entertainment. She likes to call it, and I told her this does not mean the same thing. She goes, it's open carry that night. And I'm like, that's not what that means.
It's too different.
It's open container, but it's not open carry. There's a way. I know you
carry
your drink.
You can carry an open container.
Yes, but it is not open carry that night. It's an open container night.
It might be, though.
It could be.
It could be.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for the.
I'm not a gun guy, but it could be. It could be.
I don't want to speak for the city of Auburn.
I'm not an anti-gun guy. I just don't have one, and I don't open carry. But anyway, guys, we really appreciate it.
I'm carrying one right now.
All right. Bang, bang. All right, got to check out the nachos, got to check out the tequila specials, and we'll be back again next week. This is another episode of the Dad Bod Golf Pod, and we're always stroking.
I do wonder if some of my golf buddies that were down there, if they're